What's going on, Creasha? How you doing? What's going on, Natalia? How you doing? Happy Monday to y'all. Happy Monday. What's going on, Love K? How you doing? How's everything? Hope y'all got some updates for me. Want to know what's going on? What's going on with y'all, man? Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all had a great weekend. We back in here, man. We back in here. Happy Monday to y'all. Yeah, happy Monday. What's going on? What's the new things happening? She says, Pretty Creature, you got some updates? I want to hear it now, cause y'all listen. Y'all supposed to be out using this stuff, man. Y'all supposed to be using it, practicing it, putting it into practice. You know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff. A lot of y'all ain't doing nothing with it, but it's cool. It takes time. It's no rush, but you should be entertaining and getting to know somebody, saying hello, and all that kind of stuff, making things happen. Uh, Last night I had an opportunity, y'all, to see a video coming out shortly. I had an opportunity to be on the podcast last night with Tony Gaskins. It was amazing. Had a great time. Y'all forgive me for that noise. Hold on one second. Yeah, we had an opportunity to be with Tony Gaskins last night. It was really, really good. Um, so I'm looking forward to that podcast to drop. Uh, Definitely still talking about dating relationships and trying to help y'all get into situations that's more beneficial for y'all. She said, "I like Tony. He's the truth." Yeah, I had a good time with him last night. It was good. It was a good moment. What's going on, Gloria? How you doing? So, is there anyone in here right now that's actually getting to know anybody? Anybody that's getting to know anybody right now? I want to talk with you. Let's chop it up a little bit. We're gonna do some questions and answers today. Um, Ladies, remember I always tell y'all that getting outside and being able to be available outside, talking to people, having conversations is what you want to do. But in the meantime, while you're not getting to know anybody, you're making sure that you come becoming the best version of yourself, right? Because your whole life isn't about you getting to know somebody. That's not what your whole world is about. You focusing on you, becoming a better version of yourself, accomplishing some goals, getting yourself into a position where you when you do meet your particular person, because it's gonna happen. The person, I always say that what you're seeking is also seeking you. It's only a matter of time before you're gonna walk into your person. That it would be terrible to meet somebody that's a connection for you, and then to find out that you ain't really ready. Emotionally, you're not ready. Mentally, you're not ready. It'd be a terrible thing to find it out, right? So yeah, we want to get y'all. I'm gonna get y'all in a position to where you can help, so you can be in a better position to be able to meet a person. So, is there anybody getting to know anybody at this time? Anybody y'all getting to know anybody? You having conversations? You've met somebody? Somebody's trying to get at you. So, anybody that's doing it at this time, let me know so we can kind of talk a little bit. Uh, Anybody? 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 I see the messages and stuff go over here. They go slow over here, huh? Yeah, they go slow over here. Anybody get to know anybody at this time? I guess that's no. Nobody. Nobody's getting to know anybody. Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. So y'all are just in a position to just focusing on yourselves right now. And this is what's going on. Are y'all still in here? Glory, you still here? Y'all here? Natalia said no. I guess Natalia means no. That's cool. How many of y'all ladies are actually signed up for the dating database? Are there any of you ladies that are not signed up for my dating database? Let me know. Nope. I would like to get to know someone. I actually just deleted Facebook dating. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Facebook dating, Pretty Christian, ever. There are I've heard some stories on there where people have really met their person, but overall, I totally dislike Facebook dating. I've never recommended it. Uh, yeah. She says I'm working on the database. Okay, we want to get y'all in these databases so that we can kind of make these connections for y'all. So, do y'all feel like at this particular time where you are in life, you ladies that are listening to me, you feel like at this particular time in life, you're open and ready. You're really ready to be in a relationship and to meet your person. I don't know what those men are blowing, but they must be blowing the concrete up. Ain't no way to wear that much grass out there. Good Lord. Is there anybody, are y'all really ready for a relationship, or you still kind of working on you a little bit? She said, yes, I'm ready. Okay, cool. So, yeah, get yourself in the database. We got some men signed up. I need to contact the man today to make sure he's finishing his so we can start making these connections and putting y'all together, at least to have conversations with people. That's the main thing, to be able to talk and to have these conversations. Okay. Now, let's talk about the day. Today, what I want to talk about, I want to talk about the 3-month dating process, because one of the things I want y'all to know is typically what happens is after 3 months of getting to know somebody, it's typically when the the honeymoon stage starts to wear off. The honeymoon stage starts to wear off around 90 days, right? Honeymoon stage starts to wear off. And this is where, hold on for a second. The honeymoon starts to wear off, and this is where you start to really figure out who a person really is. Those first 90 days are very, very important. And what should you should be doing something major in those 90 days. There's things that should be happening in those first 90 days, 3 months of getting to know somebody, right? Because once you get to the 90-day point, that's when reality of the situation the dopamine and all of the oxytocin and stuff that happens because the newness of the relationship starts to wear off. And then you start settling down to really figure out where you are with a particular person. I always tell y'all, when you're getting to know somebody, right, you should not go past the 90-day mark before you do your DTR. The DTR is when you sit down and have a conversation with this person about where we are, what we're doing, talking about exclusivity at this point. This is the best time to do it. I don't really recommend doing it before this time, because when you do it before, it's not real right now, because it's still new, it's still exciting. This is the time that you set the stage for how things are gonna go when you get to the end of the relationship. If first 3 months there are things, you know what I'm saying, this is what you do. So when you're getting to know somebody, those first 90 days, what you need to be doing, number one, I talk to you about this all the time. You don't give up your life and things you got to do. Too many times when women meet a guy, they start dealing with a particular man. Y'all seen this? Y'all probably done it before. When you get to know a guy, you meet a person, you start giving this guy your whole world, right? Those first 3 months of getting to know somebody, you still continuing with your hobbies, hanging out with your girls, doing the things you were normally doing before you met this guy. These are things you should be doing within them 90 days, right? When you get to know somebody, don't just give up everything for this particular person, because you got to remember where we are right now. We still in that phase of where dopamine is high, oxytocin is really, really high. It's exciting to be in this situation. These are the times that you start kind of like opening yourself up to a person more. In 30 days of getting to know somebody, you should be still continuing with your patterns, your normal patterns. What's going on, Latrice? Now, what happens in a lot of these situations when you start to get to know somebody, what really happens a lot of times is that I always tell y'all a lot of times it's good for y'all to get to know multiple people. Now, a lot of people tell me, they say, well, Coach Paul, I don't know how to get to know multiple people. I'm not good at getting to know multiple people. Now, if you're a person that's not good at getting to know multiple people, you should definitely be having a lot of hobbies and a lot of things you got going on, because you need something to be able to keep your attention and to keep you focused outside of you putting all your focus in that person. Getting to know multiple people basically is for you to not to be hyper focused on one guy too soon. This is very important, ladies, because when you first meet these guys in the beginning, this is where all the excitement of everything is happening. You want to be with this person all the time. The next thing you're supposed to be doing within the 30 days is keeping a healthy balance of me and we time. Right? This is where I tell you, ladies, that when you're getting to know him, you're going to let him know, like, there's a 1 day or 2 days out of the week that you may not necessarily hear from me. This is the day that I'm going to totally focus on me. Right? So you want to make sure you continuing with your hobbies, continuing hanging out with your girlfriends, going out, doing things with not always with him. And you want to have a healthy balance of me and we time in those first 30 days of getting to know somebody. Okay? The next thing you do not want to do within those 30 days is start introducing him or her to family and friends. This is not a time to do this. In the first 30 days, the only person he should probably meet is maybe one of your friends. One, possibly a homeboy or a brother or uncle or cousin, right? You should not be bringing him around your family. You should not be wanting to go around his family within these first 90 days. It's too soon. It gives off the illusion of something deeper when it's probably not. You got to remember, in those first 90 days, this is where y'all are, still excited with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's fun right now. The reality of what y'all have hadn't even kicked in yet. So showing him or meeting family in those first 90 days, I wouldn't suggest that. Okay? I wouldn't suggest that in those first 90 days. Another thing you need to be doing in your 90 days of getting to know a particular person is making sure that you are enforcing your boundaries. Your boundaries need to be established within those first 90 days. Now, when getting to know multiple people, I tend to get annoyed with others outside of the main person. When you're getting to know, in your first 30 days of getting to know somebody, you need to make sure that you're enforcing boundaries. Okay? Your boundaries need to be established. They need to be enforced in these particular times. You're establishing how you want to be treated moving forward. I always tell you, ladies, the first week, 2 weeks. What's going on? Who's this? What is this? First 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, you got to be careful about how you establish a relationship with this particular person. In those 30 days, what you're doing is you're paying attention, not necessarily just to the connection that you have with a person, right? In the first 30 days of getting to know somebody, you're not paying attention to just the connection that you have with a person. What you are paying attention to is his patterns. You're making sure that this person, you want to look at his patterns and his behavior. You're just paying attention to how he responds to life, how he responds to change, how he responds to ups and downs of life, how he handles conflict. All these things are what you're paying attention to in the first 30 days of getting to know somebody. Those 90 days are very, very important. Now, you don't want to go. A lot of people say, well, we need to go 6 months in before you start talking about exclusivity. No, you shouldn't. Yeah, I was wondering what's going on with that, Glenn. I didn't know what that was. Yeah, a lot of people say you're going 6 months before you get to know a person. Nah, you shouldn't. 6 months is too long. You want to establish whatever y'all have going on at the end of those 90 days. Those are very, very important. 90 days, like I said, the novelty is worn off. The reality of what y'all have starts to kick in. And this is where you're going to do your DTR with a particular person, right? Now, it could happen sooner than that because you might have a person that really digs you or whatever. Now, let me ask y'all ladies a question. So what happens if you're dealing with a man and this man wants to commit or start to connect with you, commit to you really early on? Do you think that's a wise thing to do or you should not do it? Because I tell y'all this all the time. This is what y'all got to know about men. Typically, what happens when you get to know each other, men are the first person to start talking about how they feel about you. They want to connect with you, how they want to be with you. Men do this first. A lot of people think it's women. A lot of people think women are the first ones to start talking about love and commitment and being with a person. It's not the woman. It's the man that does it first. So when you meet a guy, he starts talking to you about these things really, really early on. You got to be careful with that, right? Because you really don't know much. There are men who know right away that they want to be with you. They can know this within 2 days, 3 days, week, whatever. There are men that know this. I would suggest just taking your time with it and not allowing this person to come in and dictate the pace of how y'all flow. I wouldn't do that. She says, Coach, how soon should we tell a man we're abstaining until marriage? I would tell him as soon as you listen. Within the first and second conversation, definitely no further than the second conversation, I will start talking about it. But here's the thing. The conversation might come up. Something may come up along those lines where you can enforce that boundary early. You need to do it. I don't think you need to wait because the earlier you tell a person where you stand and where you are. Now, you don't have to be rude with it. You don't have to be arrogant with it and all that. But first and second conversation, definitely you want to do it. I would do it before you do your first meetup. Now, or you could do it on a meetup, but I would try to do it in those first or second conversations that y'all have on the phone before you meet up, to let a person know where you stand. And then you're going to watch his behaviors around the information that you gave him, because y'all got to remember, and this 30-day, listen, I want y'all to remember this when you're dating. You're doing things in a 90-day time frame is when you're trying to figure out, find out, and understand what's really going on with you and this particular person. 90 days is not the time for you to be overly committed to anybody you just met them. It's only 90 days. In the 90-day time frame, most people are still going through the infatuation stage. Most people are still having high oxytocin, dopamine from the excitement of something new. And you can't really tell what's really going on or what's really real at this particular point, right? It is said at 90 days, after about 90 days, they say about 90 days to about 6 months, but I'm gonna say really it's 90 days to 4 months is when the novelty starts to wear off and the realization of what's really going on starts to kick in. She says, I usually do early on because I don't want to build that connection and he leaves. Yeah. I would always suggest, if this is one of the things that has going on, you want to talk about that first, second conversation. Yeah. This is something you want to bring up. You also, when I talk to y'all about getting to know a man, and you talking about where you stand, this is something you need to be doing in your first 90 days. You need to let a man know on your dating intentions. This needs to happen early on. When you're talking to a particular guy, you letting him know early, listen, I'm dating with intention. You're trying to find out if he on the same page. Now, he can't say yes, he's dating with intention. And you start moving forward with him because you feel like y'all are going in the same direction when it comes to relationships. But even just because he says yes, you still are watching him, sis. You're not just taking what he say for, you're not just taking it for, like it's gospel. You're watching his behaviors. You're watching his patterns. You're watching how he treats you. You're watching how he's showing up for you. Because one thing y'all don't understand, men that like you and men that want to be with you are two totally different types of men. I can like you, like things about you. I like hanging out with you. You fun to hang out with. You fun to have conversations with. Right? You fun, I like, we like some, we got some similar things in common, whatever, but it doesn't mean I want to be with you. Two totally different things. Doesn't mean I want to be with you. I could like conversations. I could like your sense of humor or whatever. It doesn't mean I want you to be my girl though for a long period. So you got to recheck that. This man may say, you know what, I'm dating with intention too. And then y'all start hanging out and having fun. Somewhere along the line, this man may decide he really don't want to be with you like that. And he still keeps coming around. He still keeps hanging out with you. He still keeps showing up for you like he normally did. Why? It could be because he's waiting to see if he's going to be able to break and get something from you. Or You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he likes some things about you. This is why you have to ask questions. Don't just assume that just because somebody's hanging out with you, that y'all are an item or thing. Don't assume that. No, you want a verb to verbalize. I tell y'all this all the time. Men are never gonna lie to you and call you that girl when they're not. If a man is not really into you like that, he's not gonna lie to you and tell you his girl. He's gonna avoid that conversation, not talk about it, blah, 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 blah. It's gonna be a lot of things that's happening. He's not gonna trust me. So you want to make sure. So in the 90-day time period, you're keeping a healthy balance of me and we time. You're making sure you're establishing your boundaries. You're making sure you're watching his patterns, not just the connection or the sparks or the fireworks that you have. You're watching his patterns. How does he handle conflict? How does he handle change? How does he get angry? And you're watching all these things in that 90 days. You're not going to be taking them around your family and friends in the first 90 days. You shouldn't be wanting to go around his family and friends in the first 30 days. If you take him around anybody, it's going to be one of your friends, preferably a male associate. Preferably. Y'all ladies like to take these dudes around females, and that ain't really doing much of nothing, right? And you're maintaining your lifestyle within those 90 days. You're maintaining your lifestyles. If you've already been hanging out with your girlfriends, you're going to continue to hang out with your girlfriends. You're not going to stop doing the things you normally did just because you met this guy. If you're a woman that got hobbies and stuff that you got going on, that's an amazing thing. Keep going on with your hobbies. Stop putting your life on hold because of a love interest. A lot of women do that, and this is how you get sucked in. This is how you get into a situation of where you start losing yourself. This is typically how women in situations like this start losing yourself, because you start putting your whole life on hold to show up for this man that you just met, and you really, at the end of the day, you don't really know much about. You get what I'm saying? This is how it happens. When I was out being a player and moving around with women, I saw women do this all the time. Right? If I wanted you, if I want to go out with you, you was available right away. If I wanted to make plans with you, you can make plans with me at any time. I ain't never had to wait. I can call. If I want to see you, I can see. All these things should not be happening that soon, because listen, you're dealing with a person who has not verbally committed to you yet. You don't give this type of behavior to a person that you're not committed to. You don't have a relationship, or you're not exclusive with anybody until this is verbalized between you two. And even then, everything is done in stages. You're not just overdosing yourself on a particular person that you just met. This is how y'all women get taken advantage of, and this is how y'all lose yourselves in relationships. When did you know you wanted to introduce when did you know you wanted to introduce a child to a partner? What has to happen and you need to see beforehand? Before you introduce your children to anybody, I would always suggest, number one, you've been dealing with this person for at least you got 90 days in, right? I would say after that 90 days, when you feel comfortable, I would say 4 months to 5 months in, after y'all talk about exclusivity. Now you're moving into month 4, month 5, month 6. This is the time you want to start bringing him around people that you may know, especially when you get closer to month 6 and everything is still moving along. But even introducing him to your child, I would do that in a family setting. Maybe he could come around your family. Your daughter's there. Hey, this is my daughter. Blah 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 blah. I wouldn't do it in a one-on-one situation. Me personally, now. I would do it more in a setting like that. But I would say before you start introducing him to family, friends, and children and all that, I would say around month 5, month 6, right? We're not talking about month 5 and month 6 before you decide about commitment. That should be done around 90 days. But when you start talking about bringing them around people that you care about, month 5, month 6 is when this should start happening. Ladies, another thing I want y'all to not do, listen to me carefully when I tell y'all this. Stop being women who are too giving and wanting to do everything for a man when you first meet him. You want to show up for him. You want to buy him things. You want to support him. You want to introduce him to some of your connections. You want to let this man know that you there for him and that you're going to be there. This is the wrong way to approach these situations, because you got to remember, you still find out about these men. Men that some men look for women who love to do things early out the gate like that, because those women are easy to manipulate, take advantage of, and to extort. Trust me, you are easy to manipulate, you're easy to take advantage of, and you're easy to extort. This is why a lot of men look for women who are really ready to give a lot to them in the beginning. And you got to ask yourself as a question, as a woman, why am I doing this so soon? Why do I feel the need to give this man this kind of show up for this man this way this soon? Because when you do it soon, I'm gonna tell you what happens. This is the truth, man. This is what y'all need to understand. When you start showing up for a man that way real early, and y'all got, this is all psychology. I told y'all dating relationships is really psychology in a lot of ways. It's like really psychological. When you start doing this for a man, it automatically starts to send signals to this particular guy, right? That you have low self-respect, because you start showing up for him ways early, and it triggers to him low self-respect. And then what he starts to do is his desire for you that he had starts to change now. And you think that the things you're doing for him, he's going to get back. Nah, he don't want to give them back. His what he thought about you has shifted, and now he's a person who thinks you got low self-respect. He's not going to take you seriously. He's probably going to take advantage of you. Listen to me. This happens all the time. I know a woman right now. I just had a conversation with her the other day. Same thing happened in her situation. She started dealing with this dude, but she want to prove to this man. And a lot of y'all do it because y'all want to prove to these men that you're going to be loyal and that you want to support him and that you're going to show up for him. That's not. He don't take it as that. Y'all think he's taking it as that. No, he's looking at you as a person with low self-worth. That's what he's seeing. This is what it triggers. This is what signals it sends to a person you getting to know. It does the opposite of what you think it's doing. And men a lot of times look for these types of women because you're easy to control. You're easy to manipulate. And you're easy to get extorted when you're in these situations. Y'all have to slow down when you get to know a man. I know you got a lot to offer and you want to show it to him. We know you got a lot of goodness. We know you got a lot of support that you want to show this man. We know that all these things are there, but it's not time yet, sis. It's not time yet. You want to make sure that there's reciprocity. This is what you're paying attention to. Is there reciprocity in this situation? These are the things you're paying attention to. I'm telling you right now, when you're getting to know a guy. Some of y'all want to give stuff away early because you want to prove to this man that you like him. Some of y'all do it because you have an anxious attachment style and you feel like you got to do this to this man because you don't want him to get away from you. Some of y'all do it because you feel like this man is a good catch and you want to do all this extra stuff for him to keep him stay around because you know other people may want him and you don't want him to take his attention off you. So you start giving him a lot of stuff and doing a lot of stuff for him. No. It's going to set you up for failure. I know a woman right now that did that. She did it to this man. She started giving this man everything. This man, she didn't even know this man, the respect he had for her was gone until he started talking to her crazy, cussing her out and blah, 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 blah. Don't get into a situation, ladies, where you feel like you have to be a savior. This is a grown man. If this man is not in a place in life where he needs to be, if he ain't got stuff going on, if he's struggling in a situation, you don't need to be dealing with him anyway. You're not signing up to be somebody's savior. Some of y'all got that savior complex when it comes to relationships. Just because you know how to do something and you can show him how to do something, don't mean you have to do it. Especially early on in the process. We don't look at that we don't take that as oh, she just is such an amazing person. Oh, I want to be next to her. We don't take it as that. We take it as that you had low self-worth and we about to take advantage of you. And then we're going to leave you alone. We ain't going to take you serious. This is why I tell you, I talk to y'all all the time about the Ben Franklin effect. The Ben Franklin effect says that people like you more, but you're not going to make yourself uncomfortable to make them comfortable. which a lot of y'all do. There was this lady that I know that I was talking to. She ended up, this dude had already disrespected her, talked to her crazy a few times. I actually told her, leave this man alone. I said, listen, you don't need to be dealing with it. The man has no respect for you, blah, 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 blah. And the more he does you wrong and you keep coming back, the more disrespect you're going to get. Because he knows he can do it and get away with it. And you still going to show up for him like you've been showing up. So she ends up one day leaving her job to go and take this man lunch. When she gets to where he is with the lunch, he didn't even come downstairs to get the lunch from her. He made her walk upstairs and bring the lunch to him. And then when she got up there, got the lunch for her, he looked at her, he's like, well, why are you here? Then on top of that, because she had to go all the way and take the lunch to him, she was late getting back to work and got in trouble. Then when she told him about it, he was like, well, I never told you to come. Yo, can you believe that? But this is the behavior. This is how men treat you when you start doing things too early for him that he know you shouldn't be doing. You know why he know you shouldn't be doing it? Because he wouldn't do it for you. He's not going to be sacrificing being late for his job for you. Let me say this to y'all. Oh, it's not his first time talking to her. No, I told this lady, the same lady, Natalia, I told her months ago when she told me he talked to her crazy and told her to shut up that time. I said, leave that man alone. This is not a good man for you. But she's so locked in because she felt like she can change him, or she has very low self-esteem, low self-worth. And I had to have a real life conversation with her. But but let me tell y'all, men ain't gonna do these types of things for y'all. If y'all met a man and this man was showing up for you like this in the beginning, tell me how you would feel about that guy. He doing everything for you. He over sacrificing for you. He's making himself uncomfortable to make you comfortable. All kind of things that happen. I guarantee you your attraction level for that man ain't gonna really be there like that. Stop playing with me. Your attraction for that man ain't gonna be there like that. What you gonna start looking at this man really like you more than you like him, and a lot of women take advantage of men like that. You in that situation now where it's the least attractive principle, where the person who likes the other person the least is the one that controls and dictates how that relationship flows. Y'all can't tell me as women, y'all ain't never seen this happen to a man that really, really liked you, and he turned you off because of things that he was willing to do for you early on. Well, he's a nice guy, but I just can't see myself with him. How you think men feel? All of these are signals. There's a deeper problem there. When we see people show up for us like this early on and doing stuff for us like this early on in a relationship, it signals not what you think. It signals something the total opposite. Because y'all trying to prove, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be the one for you. I'm going to be here for you. That's what y'all trying to prove. It don't prove that. It don't prove that. So if you're a woman that's starting to date and getting to know a person, the first thing I want to ask you to do is, what are your hobbies right now? Let's talk about that. What are some of your hobbies that you love to do? Are you a person that loves to hike? You like to go out to brunch with your girls on Sundays? You like to play pickleball? You like to ride bikes? You like to run marathons? You like to work out? You like to go to art festivals. You like to do. What are your hobbies now? Because if you are a woman that's just sitting around and you don't really have a lot of hobbies, you don't have a lot of things that you're doing, you're gonna be putting yourself in a situation that when you meet this particular guy that really comes in and really adds some spice to your life, that you're gonna be the type of person that's really gonna start making this man your world. I want y'all to have hobbies and things you got to do. You should not be. This man shouldn't be able just to enter and exit your life with activities and things he wants to do whenever he wants to. You should already have a schedule that you got going on for yourself, and you including him into your schedule as he fits, not making your whole schedule about him. A lot of y'all don't understand when it comes to dating relationship. It's the little small things that you do that send messages to people about you that you don't even know they picking up. You got to be careful how you do this because it turns people off easy. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if a man is pursuing you and he likes you, because a man, I told y'all before, a man could be attracted to you, but don't value you. He pursuing you because you got a bad body. You got a pretty face. He trying to see what it's like. He trying to see what that punani like. He don't imagine some things about you. So he's pursuing you for that. So he's gonna keep showing up for showing them. And then as soon as he get what he wants and he gets enough of it, which is used 3 times, I tell you that all the time. Men typically don't want to have sex with you 3 times before he can take you or leave you if he's not really into you like that. And then he's gone. And you've invested some things in this man or given this man some time that you shouldn't have gave him. Now you disappointed, hurting, crying, wondering why he didn't give it back in return. He lost respect for you a long time ago. He was just there because he wanted to give you the penis. She says, I craft, so that's my hobby. It's also my business. That's good. You got something that keeps your time that you're not going to allow somebody to intrude upon. You cannot allow these. When we come into y'all life and we just got total access to y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, it's not working in your favor. So this is how you set up your 90 days of getting to know somebody. You're enforcing your boundaries. You're keeping a healthy balance of me and we time. You continuing with your hobbies. You continuing hanging out with your family. You're not bringing people around your family or within those 90 days. Make that a standard that you set somebody. You only person you're gonna see in 90 days maybe one of my people. One. And it ain't gonna be at a family reunion or family gathering. And I'm not coming to your family reunion or family gathering that early because a lot of y'all women get tripped up when men do that to y'all. Y'all start to assume because he took you around his family and friend that means something. That don't mean nothing. He took you around for bragging rights. He took you around because he wanted to show the family he can come over there with different women. Don't set yourself up for failure by doing those types of things. And then when you get to know this man, you're watching his patterns. You're not just focusing on a connection or the sparks or the fireworks y'all have. You're not focusing on that. You're making sure you're watching his patterns. You're watching his behaviors. You're watching his activities. You're watching, making sure his words and his actions align. And then when you get to that 30-day mark, if y'all be constantly, spending time together, hanging out, and building something together, then you want to make sure you're doing the DTR. Now, you may have to bring it up. It's okay if you got to bring them and say, listen, you know what? I've been enjoying us spending time together and, getting to know each other. Where do you see us going from here? Do you see us as, you see yourself being exclusive with me? Because I can see myself being exclusive with you. And you let them answer. Yeah, Christian. And you let the man answer. You let him answer. Now, if 90 days in, this man says, well, you know what? I really don't know right now. I'm still feeling or he says, well, why we got to put a title on it? Because y'all got to remember, emotionally unavailable people typically hate titles. People who are emotionally unavailable, they hate titles. But you should have, 90 days, you should have been able to tell if this man is emotionally available or not because probably he was a person that has a lot of hot and cold behavior anyway, or the conversation ain't as deep as it need to be. Those are 2 main signs of a person who's emotionally unavailable. Hot and cold behavior. Conversation ain't where it needs to be. He ain't really digging for information about you. He's not really curious about you. He's not calling you on a regular basis. He might disappear. All these things are signs of emotionally unavailable person. So by 90 days, you should already know pretty much by watching his patterns where he is. Right? So then he says to you, nah, I'm not really looking forward to being in a relationship with you right now. Whatever. At this particular time, as a woman that's been getting to know this man, you have to really start pulling away from this situation. You got to start backing away from it. Right? Meaning that you either have the cold turkey, just leave it alone, or you have to start doing a soft pull away. Some of y'all, it's going to be difficult, and I'm going to be honest with you, just real. Some of y'all, it's going to be very, very difficult for y'all to do a cold turkey pull away. It just is what it is. I'm speaking straight facts. Some of y'all don't know how to just totally cut things off and pull away. Some of y'all need to do a soft pull away. Whereas you're not Whereas you're not in it and you're not talking to him as much as you needed to talk to him anymore, right? You're not showing up as much. You might, if y'all were talking 3 times a week, you might talk to him maybe once every other week now, or something like that. Soft pull away to the point where you can wean yourself off this situation, go a different direction. Because if a man tells you within 90 days, you've been spending 90 days with this man, he's not sure about what he wants to do with you, you can't stay around until he gets sure. This is the mistake a lot of women make. A lot of women make this mistake of getting in these situations with this particular man, staying around this man after he's told you he don't really know yet, because you staying and hoping he's gonna change his mind about you. It does not take men a long period of time to know what he wants to do. It just don't take that. So you do your soft pull away. Now, what happens if you do a soft pull away and he decides he wants to come back in your world? Well, if he comes back and you decide to let him come back, because sometimes you may do that. You let the man come back, you still gonna it starts all over again. You watching this pattern. He's not coming back in your life. You just gonna automatically make a commitment with him. Y'all not automatically committing because he comes back. Nah. So now you're gonna be watching him all over again, paying attention to this, seeing how he shows up, blah, 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 blah. My thing with a lot of you ladies is though making sure that you keeping smacks off the table as long as you can, because especially if you find out this man ain't really into you like that, or he's really not committed to you like that, you can't put sex in the picture now at this particular point, because you're gonna get locked in. You're gonna get locked in. Any questions about anything I just said? I got one person in it. Any questions about anything I just said? Natalia, what you got? Are you getting to know somebody right now? Natalia, I think you said no, right? So 90 days is the important time frame for you ladies. 90 days. Showing up like you're supposed to show up, showing up as your authentic self, making sure you stay connected to yourself. And like I said before, getting to know multiple people, but you open to it though, right, Natalia? You just haven't met anyone yet. Both of y'all, Pretty Christian, tell y'all open to it, you just haven't met anyone yet. I got you. And these are the things I want y'all to practice. And matter of fact, what I want y'all to start doing is watching. Listen, these things I'm teaching y'all. Watch these behaviors in some of your friends and family members that are dating and getting to know people. Watch the things I'm telling you and see how it plays out with some of the people that you know. Because you'll start to see these patterns happen in relationship. When you're talking about the game, I tell y'all this all the time, the game never changes, it's the same game. Everybody's playing the same game. It's just different players that may use different tools at different times, but everybody get the same player tool belt. Metaphorically speaking. Every player, whether it's a man or a woman, get the same player tool belt. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I feel like women are better players when they players than men is because women have more, there's more to entice a man with that he's really hard after. And if she knows how to, let me say this, if she knows how to let him smell it, but never let him have it, meaning she's tempting him with it, and she knows how to bait him with that, she'll drive a man crazy and take advantage of him for however long she wants, because the desire that he has for her with JJ or for her whatever is there. And if she knows how to put it in and pull it back, she can have that man around her as long as she wants. She can get whatever she want to get to him until he gets to a place to where he just can't take it no more, or it gets dangerous. And that's why I tell y'all ladies not to play that game, because with these dudes, sometimes it can get really, really dangerous when you play that kind of game. But it happens. I feel like, honestly, that women are way better players than men are. Way better, because y'all have more that a man wants access to. Ladies, on the other hand, when we playing, y'all are emotional, yeah, and y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all are pursuing situations for different reasons. When men are playing, we pursuing for something that we almost can't live without in a lot of ways, especially if this is something that you that drives you. You get what y'all get what I'm saying? And you, if y'all don't believe that, you can see that this happen. You can see this by going to when people go to. I tell you all the time when people go to strip club. The reason why men go to strip club and give all their money to a woman that he probably never gonna go home with. He going and give $500,000 away. Number one, they try to do it to show off the other dudes, but the next thing they do, they do it because this woman knows how to play into a fantasy that he has or a desire that he has. She knows how to tempt him with what he wants. Sit on his lap, talk to him, whisper in his ear, show up for him. And all she's doing is dangling that thing in front of his face, making him think he could. And every time he think he get close, she moves it. And he comes following. Every dangling in his face again. Every time she moves. This is why I feel like women are better players, way better players. Because men don't like to play those games. Men, we're too black and white, right? When we go after something, we going after it. It ain't no playing with us. We going straight after it. Women, on the other hand, they know how to play with theirs. They know how to, you know what I'm saying, put it out there, let you play with it. And that's the worst, boy. That's the woof. Yeah. I'm trying to tell y'all. This is why I tell y'all ladies, and see y'all, I can understand a lot of y'all ain't playing, and I get it. Y'all are good, wholesome, beautiful women. I get it. But what I'm telling y'all is y'all don't have to give up control like y'all do when men come around. Y'all don't. Y'all give up control too quick. This is why I tell y'all the balance of power shifts early on in these situations because y'all give it up. You got to learn how to keep the power in your favor as well, not just giving him everything he wants to do. This is where y'all messed up. As soon as that pendulum shifts to him, you typically never are gonna get anything back in that relationship because now he's requiring certain things of you, and you giving it to him. He's dictating certain things. Everything is happening at the rate that he wants it to happen at. This is what I be trying to get y'all to understand, man. I just don't. One of the things that trips me out about women, especially women that men have a liking to. The thing that tripped me out about y'all is y'all don't know how to take your assets and your the things people want and use it in your favor. You just you know, you don't know what to do with it. That's the truth. That's the truth. I could tell y'all a story one time. One time, y'all got time for a story? One time I had went to this was probably, but man, this had to been about this was many years ago. I'm 50 now. I was probably like 42, something like that, 41, 42. Me and one of my uncles went to a strip club here in Dallas. It was called y'all, it's still there, I think, Ecstasy. Y'all know Ecstasy? Back in the day, Ecstasy was the premier top, best one to go to. And I never really been a serious strip club person. I would go every once in a while. It wasn't really my thing. But my uncle loves it. So he came in town to visit me. And I know he'd like to go. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna take you to this one you're gonna love. So we get to the strip club soon. When we got there pretty early, because I told him, I said, we got to get there early, because if not, we get there late, it's gonna be packed. We ain't gonna have nowhere to sit. It's gonna be crazy. So we get there a little early. When we got there, it was still early. We was able to get us a table, get us a nice seat, and everything, right? We get into this place, and I told him, I said, do not go for the first girl you see. I said, all these women in here are beautiful. You got different shapes, sizes, colors, flavors, nationality, races, everything in there. I said, take your time, young man. Mama used to say, right? What does my uncle get in there do? The first girl that comes over to the table, she was attractive, little brown skinned girl, body was on point. She knew how to come over there and play the game. So I just sat and watched him. I ain't say nothing. All night. We probably got there about 9:30. We probably 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. We probably left there at about 1:32. All night. My uncle with this one girl, right? He telling me, oh, Paul, he give me his car. Go get me some more money out today. I said, you sure? Yeah, go give me some money. By the end of the night, my uncle had gave that woman like $600. Now check this out. So when we get ready to leave, he told the girl, he's like, why don't you come with me out of the club? Cause she done got in his head now. She done had him romanticize and fantasize about her in a crazy way. She done got in his head. She done got his pocket. Now she in his head. So then he says to the woman, he says, can you come with me out of the thing? You know what the girl told him? She said, yeah, I'll come, but it'll be another $350. She said, yeah, it'll be another $350. I said, bro, you crazy. I laughed at that joker. I laughed. I told him, I said, I told you not to come in here playing with these women. I told you. The women know they prefer, they know what I said, I told you. Now he mad. Well, I done gave all my money, bro. You gave that woman 600 some change, and then she asked you for another 350. You might well have just saved 300, just saved it to the end of the night. That's what yeah. But why I'm telling y'all this story because of this. This is the power that women have that y'all don't take advantage of. I'm not saying you need to manipulate and play the game and take advantage and play with men. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just telling you the power and the authority that you really have as a woman. Meaning that you don't have to give all that up just because you meet a guy and you like him, like a lot of y'all love to do. You don't. Some of y'all probably need to go to one of them spots or talk to one of them females and be like, hey, well, you know what I'm saying? Not to run game, but knowing how to embrace the power and to use it for your benefit. Because if you don't, you're gonna get taken advantage of. Is that wrong for me to tell y'all as a coach? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be telling y'all that, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I don't care. Yeah, you do. You do. Not to play games, not to take advantage of a man, not to go in there and just, you know what I'm saying, none of that. Yeah, but to know, understand where you stand as a woman, because a lot of y'all don't understand. I'm telling y'all right now, I've seen too many women that meet a guy and melt like candle wax under heat when you meet a man that you really like. He comes in, he's saying everything right, he's moving the right way. Them first 2 to 3 weeks, he's showing up for you. He's calling you every day. Y'all talking on the phone, and you get into a fog of delusion about this particular man in this situation. And the next thing you know, this man got you. And now he got you in a position to where you so delusional and just gone that you don't even know where you are no more. And now he's just coming in, taking advantage of you like he wants to. This is what I'm talking about, keeping y'all away from. And it takes practice. It takes practice. It really does. And a lot of y'all ain't had a lot of the practice because you ain't never really tapped into your feminine power. Just your power. A lot of y'all ain't really tapped into it yet. This is why I tell you a lot of time. I used to say to y'all, I said a lot of y'all would be lunch me. A lot of women, if I was a player still, a lot of women would be lunch me because I already know a lot of women haven't tapped into that. They don't understand that. They don't get it. So 3-month rule, 90 days, setting boundaries, paying attention to his behaviors and his patterns, not taking him around family, keeping up with your hobbies and your activities, not stopping that for him. All these things are what you're going to be doing. First night, she said, me and Natalia talk about this all the time. What y'all be talking about? The power that y'all have. Yeah. But see, a lot of y'all don't know y'all have the power because a lot of y'all, that kind of authority, and that kind of embracing of a power comes a lot from self-esteem too. See, if your self-esteem is low, it's going to be very, very difficult. And your self-worth is low. It's going to be very, very difficult for you to handle yourself this way. Very difficult. That's why I tell you, you got to work on those things first. You got to work on self-esteem. You got to work on your self-esteem. You got to work on your self-worth. Because it's only the women that understand their self-worth and their self-esteem and understand what they possess, what you possess as a woman. See, them women, and I'm using them as an example, them women in them clubs, they know what they possess. You know why? You know why they know what they possess? Because they listen, they probably went into those spots shy, bashful, embarrassed. And then they started seeing what happens when they pop out. And now the confidence is built. And now they know how to move and shake because they done seen it work over here. So I know this works everywhere. But it stemmed from self-esteem, self-worth, and just understanding who you are as a woman. As a woman. You mean to tell me that you got a man that will go and give his bill money away, his rent money away, to throw at a woman that's never gonna go home with him? That's what I'm saying. But if your self-esteem is in a place, you're gonna be. So this is why I say, ladies that shouldn't be dating. You should not be dating if you're a woman with low self-esteem. You should not be dating if you're a woman that ain't got no hobbies, no goals, no aspirations, no nothing going on for yourself. You should not be dating. You should not be dating if you're a woman whose finances ain't in a good place. You should not be dating if you're a woman that's very negative all the time. All you are is negative and love to sit around and take. You should not be a woman that's dating. You should not be a woman that's dating if you're a needy dater, meaning that you just have the need for just closeness or companionship or smacks or money or whatever it is that you need. You're dating because you have a need, not because you want to, because you have to. Because if you're a needy dater, you're going to intentionally overlook red flags to get your needs met. She says, I took a client out to a cigar bar and showed her how to use that power. Men were all over her. She was amazing. I'm telling you right now, it's crazy the amount of authority and power that y'all ladies have. And a lot of it, I'm going to tell you this right here. When a man sees a woman walk in the room, first of all, she's already attractive. She walks in the room and she has a quiet, authoritative grace about her. And she goes and sits down and minds her business. Number one, you're attractive or you're carrying yourself really, really well. You're dressed really, really, really well. Your posture and body language is on point, because people take. I told y'all this. It takes about 7 seconds for a man or for somebody to make making a decision about you or to assume something about you. About 7 seconds, and a lot of that assumption about you comes from your body language. 7 seconds it takes for somebody to assume something about you. And a lot of it comes from your body language. If you're a woman that walks with great body language, you're smiling, you're friendly, you're approachable, but you sit down and mind your business, men are going to be falling over you like this. Natalia just said a good thing. I could tell y'all, Natalia, you probably know this. I could tell y'all how to test where you are. I can tell you how to test where you are. Get you and one other girlfriend. Don't take a lot of girls with you. Get you and one other your girlfriends. Go out and sit at a bar. If you at that bar that night and you don't have at least 3 to 4 men come over and ask you to buy you drinks, you're doing something wrong. If you are out at a club, a lounge, not clubs, but a lounge or somewhere having a good time, and you sitting in the bar, and you in there, and you don't have at least 3 to whatever men come over and ask you for, can they buy you a drink and have a conversation, you are doing something wrong. She said, Natalia, the queen, is sitting in the bar. Yeah, you're doing something wrong, because men are always watching. As soon as you come in the building, especially if you got that it factor, as soon as you come in the building, he watching. Now you coming in, let me tell you how not to come in. You coming in, you all loud, falling all over the place, laughing, all that kind of stuff. Ain't nobody bothering with you at that particular point. We looking at you probably from the side and we're like, hey, you know, what up, how you doing? But a woman that comes in, she come in her sexy energy, you coming in, you low key, just chilling, watch what happens. Come in with your, and I told y'all the top 3 colors that men love: red, black, and white. Come in with some red, some black, white, something bright. Yellow, bright, that makes you stand out, makes you pop. Because when you go into these places, let me tell you something. You may not necessarily be speaking or making noise from here, but you want your presence and even your outfit to stand out in that room. You want people all over the room to know you in there just by what you got on. But if you're gonna do this though, if you're gonna put that on and put that outfit on and you're gonna stand out, you better have, you better make sure that the presentation is, you better make sure that the experience is just as good as the presentation. And this is what happens with a lot of men and women, is a lot of times the experience is not good. It's just a good presentation. So you want to make sure that you're a woman who has substance, that you're a woman of value, that you're a woman who ain't afraid to say no. Meaning what I mean when I say you ain't a woman, meaning that you're a woman who ain't afraid, who's not afraid to enforce your boundaries. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's an amazing place for y'all to go. I know y'all go to the cigar bar, stuff like that. That's a good place to go to. I'm gonna tell y'all a good cigar bar to go to. In that everybody's going to now. I used to go to Cigar International all the time. I don't go there no more, but it's called Smoke Chemistry is a good place to go. But there's a very upscale bar in downtown Dallas. It's called I can't think of the name of this place. I have to give you the name of it. But what y'all need to do, like I told y'all last week, first of all, identifying the type of man that you want to meet, type of situation you want to be in. These are the places you want to go. You want to find these upscale places to where you're going to find these types of people, right? Stop thinking that everybody just going to be in the club or whatever. Nah, you go to the places where these types of people hang out. And then you go in there and you be the woman that you are. But all this stuff about y'all ladies, this happens behind closed doors. You have to be behind closed doors working on you. And then when you get out, it's easy for you to do. It's easy for you to handle yourself. Y'all get what I'm saying? It should be fun. Let me tell y'all something. Dating and relationships and getting to know people should be fun. It should not be begrudging. It should be fun. It should be exciting. You smiling, you having conversations with people, and you learning things about people. You learning, because the more you talk to people, then you're gonna always learn something new. Everybody knows something you don't know. It should be fun. Y'all make it too begrudging because y'all are so ready to get into something right now. Instead of just getting out, just having fun, learning how to flirt, learning how to use your powers, learning how to have conversations, learning how to enforce your boundaries, learning how to this is what you want to do. You want to make this fun and stop making it so just rough. Once or twice a month, 2 to 3 times a month, really, you should be outside doing something. 2 to 3 times a month. You should be outside, going places, having fun, meeting people, having conversations, whatever. And you should be in those environments that you really want to meet somebody in. Right? We talking about raising the bar on what we are attracting and what we're connecting with. But it all starts with behind closed doors. What's happening with you behind closed doors? When you look in the mirror at yourself, what do you think about you? Do you think you're an attractive woman? Do you think you're a beautiful woman? Do you think, because it's going to show up on your body when you walk outside. If you don't have that self-esteem, or you feel like I'm too big, I'm too small, I'm not pretty enough, work on whatever it is that you feel like you need to work on. Because when you walk out that door and you call yourself get out to meet people, men, listen, we can sit. Let me tell y'all what happened last night. I got another story for y'all. Can I tell y'all this? Y'all know I got stories for days. Last night when I was at Tony Gasson's podcast, it was me, Tony, and 3 women. There was a woman, y'all will see her on the video when the clip comes out. There was a woman that was sitting across from me. She was a pretty lady, but you could tell, you could see that on her. You could see that on her when you know. Then there was a woman that was sitting right beside me. What up, Lil Kate? There was a woman that was sitting right beside me that you could tell, and she said it. She said she'd been abstinent for over 10 years. The woman across from me, she just recently became abstinent, and you could tell that. I'm telling y'all this right here. When a man walks in the room, the first thing he does is scans the room. He scans the room for safety reasons, but he also scans the room looking at women. And if he's a player, he's going to scan. If a man, as soon as I walked in that room last night, I looked at that lady and I could tell what was on her. Now, just because a woman dressed down and dressed classy doesn't mean that she ain't woman to get wild too, because they do it too. But it's just not as noticeable. It's not as loud. This other lady was loud. Her nails were super long. Her eyelash was, she had them flappers. Not saying anything is wrong with that, but when you learn how to tone it down and be a little bit more modest, it speaks volume. Your nails, ladies, speaks volumes to men about you. Eyelashes and all that speaks volumes to men about you. That energy that she was in, me and Tony both saw it. Matter of fact, when y'all look at the video, when the video comes out, y'all gonna see Tony talked about it. So when you out moving around, and a lot of y'all like, well, why do I keep attracting these same types of people? Number one, you're attracting what you're familiar with, and we're taking home what you're familiar. Number two, it's something on you that everybody see. You may not think it's there, but people see it. Men can pick up on those insecurities, vulnerabilities, low self-esteem, low self-worth. We can pick up on that from the door. All we gotta do is look around, we scan the room. And I told you it takes about 7 seconds for us to make a determination about you. We scan the room and then we compartmentalize you. And then at that point, we're moving in that direction. That's how quick it happens. But when I tell y'all that, when I tell y'all that, y'all think it's crazy. But at the end of the day, y'all do the same thing when it comes to men. You know good as well, you can look at a man. Y'all ladies know for sure. You can look at a man and tell if this man is a player or not. A lot of times you can look at him and tell. It's on him. It's on you. People can see it. You could be saying whatever you want to say out your mouth. Your heart always speaks louder than your words. You can tell it. You can tell when a man walk up on you and have a conversation with you what he's after. First time he opened his mouth, y'all could tell it. And men know we pick it up a mile away. As soon as we walk in the building, we look around. I walked in that thing last night. The first thing I did, because I'm a man, I always do that. Scan the area, scan the room, look who's around, see what is what. And then what happens as a man, the first thing we do is when we walking in, we look around and we want to see who's making eye contact with us. And what eye contact is she making? That's going to be a signal for me to go to her. Or to play it cool for a minute and go to her later. Because eye contact is I'm telling you, eye contact is powerful. This is why I tell you, ladies, this is the most risk-free way to flirt. If you see a man that you're interested in, eye contact and even a smile. But that eye contact, looking at him is enough in a lot of cases, especially if he's reading the room. He can tell when you're looking at. Men can tell, we can tell, because when y'all ladies look at us, y'all look at us in a way, your eyes say, yeah, I'm digging you. It's not a hard thing to do. But I want y'all to get into a position to where you are highly comfortable with yourself. And when a man approaches you, he knows he's approaching a woman who's a quality woman. He's approaching a woman who ain't taking no mess from him. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got to be mean. Remember I told y'all, say what you mean, but you just don't say it mean. And men, I always talking about men, you got, just because you saw them mean you saw. But just know how to say what you want and what you will and won't put up with. Let me give y'all. Can I give y'all another example and I'm using the strip club as an example today. Can I give you another example of that? I'll give y'all another example of the strip club. I have been to the strip club. Now this was early in my life when I was in my 20s at this point. When I would go to a club and I knew certain women in there, and I would go there on a regular basis, and there were certain women that I would end up taking home. But there were certain women in there that wasn't, feeling me like that, and you try to handle this woman like that, like you do the woman that you know is feeling, and she won't have it. Why? But listen, so say I have a woman sitting on my lap, we talking, and I take my hand and put it on her in the area that I shouldn't. I'm doing it to watch for one or two things. Number one, how is she gonna respond to that? Is she gonna move my hand or is she gonna let it stay there? Because if she lets it stay there, I already know I have access to this particular point. But then there's the other woman who's not giving me access, who take my hand and just say and move it away. She'll laugh. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this to y'all. There is a way that you can address something to a man that you ain't even never got to argue. You never got to fuss. You never got to raise your voice. But you could do it in a way that lets him know I'm not into that. Instead of being all that yelling and caring, you ain't gotta do that. If I would put my hand on that woman in the club and she didn't want that, she would just move it away. Now, if I did it again, she probably would get upset and but first she just moved my hand away. That let me know right now she's not interested like that. Don't touch me like that. I'm cool being on your lap, but I don't want you touching me like that. Y'all get what is that making any sense to y'all? Am I just talking? Am I just rambling? Or y'all get what I'm saying? A woman knows how to say what she needs to be saying in a powerful way without ever raising her voice. You ain't never got to raise your voice. Now comes a time when you got to get a little bit more assertive, and then you got to go from assertive to aggressive. There may come a time. Because if somebody's doing something to you that you don't want them to do, you can't. We ain't talking about assertive at that point. We talking about aggression now, right? You got to do that, but you got to know the difference. I'm trying to teach y'all ladies your value. And listen, anything worth having does not come easy. Anything of real value does not come easy. If you are a woman who feel and know that you got real value, it ain't nothing easy about you. But you also know how to reward a man's good behavior to get more of it. Let's talk there. See, women with low self-esteem, women that have low self-worth, insecurities, y'all are professionals. Y'all are professionals at rewarding bad behavior. Ooh. Ooh. Y'all are professionals. Women with low self-esteem, low self-worth, a lot of insecurities, you are professional at rewarding bad behavior. Women who know what their worth is, women who have high self-esteem and high self-worth, they know how to reward good behavior. Y'all don't want me to talk today. So you got to ask yourself a question. You can learn a lot about yourself by the behaviors that you constantly reward. That says a lot about who you are as a woman. If you're dealing with a man, or you look back when I tell y'all to track your dating patterns, and you realize that in your relationships in the past, or maybe something you in now, you do a lot of rewarding bad behavior. That says a lot about you. If you don't believe that people tell you, if you don't believe that you are who you are, why you get, look at that. That's a sign. Because women they don't reward that. They know how to say, I ain't dealing with you like this, and they know how to say, you know what, I appreciate you doing that for me. You know, you made me feel so good when you did that. They reward good behavior. They pinpoint good behavior out like crazy. You get what I'm saying? All of these tips I give y'all about dating and relationships and what to do and what not to do, it's none of this stuff is gonna matter to a woman who has low self-worth. So none of it's gonna matter. You're not gonna be able to sustain it because if you got low self-worth, you're automatically dating from a place of neediness. Yeah. If you got low self-worth, you're automatically dating from a place of neediness. You want somebody to come in to your life to make you feel valued and worth something. So if you already dealing with low self-esteem and all that kind of stuff, you got to work on that first before you get out and start moving around. You need validation from a man. Because when you get up and look at the mirror and see yourself, you don't think highly of yourself. When I walk into a room, matter of fact, it was so crazy. When I walk into a room, I walk into any room, I don't care who's in that room. As a man, first of all, confident. Second of all, high self-worth. And third of all, I'm not cowering down to anybody. I don't care who you are. You understand what I'm saying? So when y'all ladies walk into a room, I don't care how beautiful the women are in there. If you walk in there, you know who you are and you got good self-worth, you're gonna stand out amongst everybody. People gonna look at you like, oh, who is that? Because it's seen just at the door. It don't take long for people to notice it and recognize it. All right. Any questions? Any questions? If you're a lady right now that's constantly getting hit on and everybody that when you go outside, let me say this. When you go outside, the only thing that come in your area and your around you are bees. You could be constantly attracting bees because you standing on a honey hive or your beehive or something. There's something about you that's constantly attracting this same type of thing. Because really, when you walk outside, if you are a woman who know who you are and got good self-worth, self-esteem, and all that, you're gonna attract a lot of different types of people. If you look at your life and you're dominantly attracting one type of thing all the time, if you're only attracting flies, something around you stinks, sis. All you attract is flies. That's it. You got bees out here, you got flies, you got mosquitoes, you got gnats, you got wasp, you got what else we got? We got butterflies, you got beetles, you got all kind of bugs out here. But only thing you attract all the time is one type of bug. That means you ain't got nothing on you that no other bug want but that one bug. That is a problem. Because when you walk out, you always gonna get that one dude who ain't even on your level that's gonna think he on your level. You always gonna get that guy. You always gonna get that one dude who's you know what I'm saying, little, arrogant player. He think he got it. You should be getting a variety of people approaching you. Does that make sense? All these things are telltale signs about where you are. You ain't even gonna ask nobody no questions. All these are telltale signs about where you are. There's certain women that a man will look at and say, "Oh, I ain't even fooling with her." Unless he's a man that got something to offer. There's certain men that say, I ain't fooling her. I ain't even going over and saying to her. Because he can see something on you that he knows is going to challenge him too much. So if you only getting one type of dude all the time, one type of behavior, one type of pattern, one type of action, that is speaking volumes about something. If you're only attracting the flies, something stink around you. Ain't nobody taking flies home as pets. It shouldn't be. If you do, you something wrong with you. All right. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming in with me today. We'll be back in here on Friday morning at 11 o'clock. Y'all make sure if you have any questions for me, you can always go to Paul L. Bryant. You go if you got questions, you can go to my website, my email, Paul L. Bryant, #1 at Gmail. Paul L. Bryant, #1 at Gmail. Make sure you go to my if you need to schedule a one-on-one with me, you can go to paullbryant.com. Okay. We'll be back in here on Friday again at 11 o'clock. I want y'all to make sure that y'all getting out, that you're practicing some of these tips and things I'm giving you. Don't just take, but first and foremost, make sure you are where you are. Make sure you're in a good place in your life to really be out dating, so you can start attracting something that's of value to you. Okay, y'all be good, and we'll talk with y'all soon. Peace.